Hey, it's AV. I'm going to show you how I made this easy shadow box card. I cut 2 pieces of cardstock measuring at 3.5 by 6 inches. I added low-tack tape to both pieces to hold them together and die cut a frame from a mini slimline nesting die. I adhered both frames together for stability. I used the Flowing Drop stencil from Altenew to emboss my card base measuring at 4.5 by 6 inches. You can use stencils to emboss cardstock by using a silicone mat when passing it through your die cutting machine. Please follow the instructions specific to your die cutting machine for this process. I used the white metallic watercolor from Altenew to add splatter to the background. I added the card base to another sheet of cardstock measuring at 4.5 by 6 inches for stability. I used the azalea set that was part of Simon Says Stamp Timber's release, inked it up with embossing ink, covered it with antique silver embossing powder, and then I heat set it. I used the coordinating stencil set to color the leaves with industrial diamond, and I colored the centers of the flowers with Dusty Rose Fresh Dye inks from Altenew. I used the coordinating die to die cut the azaleas. I added an additional layer for stability. I used a With Sympathy stamp from Simon Says Stamp August 2022 kit. I inked it up with embossing ink and stamped it onto a piece of vellum measuring at 4.5 by 2.5 inches. I covered the stamp image with antique silver embossing powder and heat set it. I trimmed down the sentiment a little bit more for a better fit. I adhered the flowers to the frame. I wrapped the sentiment around to the back of the frame and adhered with glue dots. To create the shadow box, I cut 2 pieces of cardstock measuring at 2 by 5 3/4 inches and scored them at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inches. I folded the score lines forward, back, forward, back. I trimmed down 2 pieces of double-sided adhesive sheets from Altenew to 1/2 inch by 5 3/4 inches, released the backing, and added to the bumpers. I adhered the bumpers to the back of the frame. I added liquid adhesive to the backs of the bumpers and adhered the frame to the center of my card base. I added some clear enamel dots from Altenew to add a little bit of interest. And that is how this card came together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.